Hi, my name is AndyPerkins, and I just finished a 7-day juice fast, and I had people ask me a lot of questions on it, so I thought I would take some time to explain what juicing is and also a little bit for my reasons of fasting. So my reason for fasting was I was spiritually empty and full at the same time, and there are a lot of tools to get closer to God, to hear His voice, and one of them you read a lot about in the Bible is fasting, and never really knew anybody who fasted or a good theology for it until I ran across this book called Fasting to Freedom, and it really highlighted everything I needed to hear. And after just reading the first few pages, I knew I was ready, and ready for a longer term vision that I hope would come through the fasting. But also, he says here, fasting helps unclutter the background noise of living so you can hear again the call of God. And that's kind of the key, is to unclutter, to simplify, and just to tune out what you're used to, the status quo. So you don't have to fast to juice, so we'll get to the juicing mechanics now. Let's get started talking about juicers. This is called a centrifugal type of juicer. The kind we use now is masticating. I'll start with the centrifugal. This is a Hamilton Beach model. I think it's like $40. We borrowed it from our neighbors just to see if we wanted to get in juicing. So what happens here is you put the screen in, and next you've got your chute, and not too many parts here. Pulp will fall back into here, and your juice will come out this spout right there. Centrifugal juicers are really fast, fairly efficient. So if you're doing it, 2 or 3 times a week, it's fine. One problem with this model is kind of a small chute, so you'll have to cut things up pretty small to get in, to get things going. But again, this model works great if you just want to experience juicing and see if you like it. It's kind of a pain to clean from my perspective. You can throw everything in the dishwasher, and honestly the difference between cleaning these two is only like 2 minutes, but that type of stuff can add up over time, because you wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't want to clean it. So put this aside. So this is a beautiful piece of machinery from my perspective. It's just a motor. There's no plastic gears or anything like that. I'm sure there's plastic inside. 6 months, heavy use, you're toast. You're done for. This solid motor, people use these 25 years. You can find them on Craigslist, eBay. What you have is, this is what cuts. So this does a lot better job of efficiency in getting out your juice, because it actually crushes the cell walls and everything. So we put that on. Now you've got your screen, very easy to clean compared to the other screen on the centrifugal. You've got a slider here that slides on. Let's see. There we go. And that keeps fingers from getting out. This just slides onto here. Actually, put that on this way. There we go. And that's it. There's even a funnel that can go on top of here. Now this will also make puree, sorbets. You've got a blank screen here if you just want to shoot out. The pulp here, which you can use to make muffins and other stuff. Baby food. Juice will come out here. Now another handy thing about this model, since it's just a strong motor, this is a grain mill attachment. So you can grind coffee, you can grind dry seeds, all sorts of things. We got all of this for $110 off of Craigslist. I think normally they go around for $200, and this is a separate $60 attachment. Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about what you can and can't juice. Pretty much you can juice anything with this type of juicer. So this is an extreme bowl of fruit. Lynn and I are kind of insane about what we actually juice, and partly why I love juicing is you can just throw in anything. As long as you have a base of carrots, apples, or oranges, you can pretty much throw in anything else. So we have spinach, apples, I mentioned pears, oranges, we have grapefruit. I like to do grapefruit with a little bit of rind still on. It adds a nice tang. If you don't like that tang, then you can peel it completely. We have acorn squash here. Don't worry about thin rinds. They're fine unless they're poisonous, and you can find out all that either in the book I mentioned before or on the web is full of stuff. Carrots, zucchini, you can do beets. Yeah, just play around. One important thing of juicing is do not let the tool or the juicing itself, the mechanics, get in the way of your ultimate goal or purpose. Otherwise, if you get too worried about this stuff, am I doing it right, then you kind of defeat the goal of getting peace and whatever else may come along. And I also will say, do not neglect your colon. If you're doing a cleanse, bad things can happen. Nothing bad happened to me, but weird things you read about. Okay, so we'll start. Just go for it. Juice will come out here, pulp will come out here. I'll talk, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. Fortunately, this is kind of quiet, but not all of them are. It helps if you plug it in. Alright, there we go. Let's do it. So there's our juice. You'll start seeing the pulp come out. Anything with a rind is a little bit harder to do. Apples are generally pretty easy. Carrots are a little slower. You see how it comes out pretty dry. If you want, you can feed the pulp back into it. Throw in some pears. Now when you start doing leafy greens, you want to throw in some greens and then alternate with something hard. Otherwise you can not bind it up, but it doesn't become very efficient. And I can generally cut, juice, and clean in about 15 minutes in the morning. So about 15 minutes for me to cut, juice, and clean, and that gives me my breakfast and lunch. Right now I'm off the fast, so maybe I'll do it once a day, give me my lunch. So our juice here is full. If I'm bringing it to work, I like to use these freezer jars because they don't leak. Typically you want to drink as quickly as possible because you do lose some nutrient value the longer you wait. Now instead of finishing the rest of this, let's go ahead and clean it. Now we enjoy.